Do you ever dream of ice cream? How about butter? Hi, I'm Kristen from Hammock Haven Farm, and today we are going to separate cream from our goat milk. Come follow me. Goat milk is naturally homogenized, which means the smaller fat molecules stay dissolved in the milk and don't rise to the top in the form of cream as readily as on cow milk. Now in this one you might be able to see, this has been in there several days, that we've got a cream line right about here. So before we break out the cream separator, I'm going to grab this milk the easy way. And this is really the way to do it if you don't have a cream separator. I'm simply going to take a ladle, a little nice one that fits in the jar well, and I'm going to scoop the cream off top and put it in another jar. Nice thick cream. I'm going to go through all of these jars and do that, and while we're talking about assembling the cream separator, I'm going to get this milk heating up to about 100 degrees because it needs to be 100 degrees for the plus or minus a little for the cream separator to work well. We have a Slavic Beauty hand crank cream separator that we got from Ukraine. I know this is the one that you see mostly on Amazon and on eBay, and it's a little intimidating to get set up the first time, and even more intimidating if you can't speak Ukrainian or read it because you can't read the directions. So let me go through real quick how to set this up, and I'll leave a timestamp in the description if you just want to get to where we're actually separating the cream, and you can go click that timestamp. First thing we need to do is set up this cone, and it's like the main piece that's going to separate out all of your cream. And this looks really intimidating, probably the most confusing part. You see here there's a rubber washer in the bottom, and that comes with an extra one of those too. After the washer, you're going to put on this piece, right like that, and then you have all of these discs. Some of the discs have little dots on them, and some don't have dots. And you'll see there's a like a key, a cutout right here. So these need to go on the little cutout on here, every other one. So you're going to have dots, no dots. You see, if you don't have it on the right way, it doesn't slide all the way down. So fortunately I have these stacked up all right, and I'm just going to put them all on there. So there we've got all of our cones. After that, there's a plastic funnel, and that goes on top, just like so. And then you have the metal top to your funnel. It's got a groove in here that needs to line up with this right there. And after that, you've got a nut that screws down the top. And it comes with a key for tightening this down. If you don't get it tight enough, milk will leak out all over your counter when you're trying to separate your cream. It's really not fun. Now this little hole here, it comes with another key, and that is to increase or decrease the amount of cream that comes out. I think it's so you can set it based on your animals, how thick your cream is. I have played with it some. I've got it now where I like it. It's been several years, so I don't really remember exactly what makes it go one way or another. Okay, so we got this together. Now let's come look at the base. This here's the base that comes with the cream separator. It does not come mounted. I mounted this on a cutting board because we're going to have a whole lot of force going, and you don't want it to be able to jiggle. So we have it mounted on a cutting board that we're then going to clamp onto the counter. It's got this little hole here that you need to put some oil in. Don't make the mistake I did the first time of filling the whole thing up with oil. There's a little white plastic, you're not going to be able to see it on here, but a little white plastic container, I guess, that oil goes in. It's very small. So this is mounted on a board. And then I have this clamp. This is actually off of my pasta maker. You need to put well, before I put the clamp, sometimes I leak and I get milk everywhere where we're not moving it at the right speed. So I'm gonna put some rags underneath to catch milk. Learned this one the hard way. All right, let's get those on underneath. And then as you turn the handle, it's going to come out this far. You don't want to be hitting the clamp when you turn the handle. So you have to clamp the far end of the board down over here. All right. Now we should have it where this board isn't going to move around too much as we put this piece back in. As we turn the handle. Now that we've got the base hook down, we need to figure out where all these other pieces go. So at the base, there's a little plastic washer bit that goes on there. Then we take our metal cone and put that on top of there. After that, there are two spouts. The bottom spout is going to have the milk come out. Whoop. Good one. The bottom spout is going to be where the milk comes out. The top one is where the cream comes out. The first time I tried to put this together, I kept putting the spouts on upside down. Make sure that the side with the hole is facing up. So first you're going to put, let's see, only one will work, so I'm missing something here. Oh no, wait, yep, I was doing it again. I was putting it on upside down. All right, so first we're going to put on our milk spout. And I want the skimmed milk to go out that way. And then we're going to put on our cream spout. And I want the cream to go off to a jar this way. And it snaps on there, just use a little, sometimes you just need a little muscle, which apparently I don't have today. Come on. There we go. All right. Next thing, there is this little funnel piece. And this goes on this way. That's telling me that my milk is ready. Let me go turn that off. It's at 100 degrees. Oh, off you go. Okay, after you get that funnel piece, you've got a little float. Now the pieces of this float do come apart for cleaning, so make sure it's snapped together. See, comes apart. So snap those pieces together, put your little float in. Next is your bowl, and when you put your bowl in, there's one side that's got, how do I describe this? You've got this part, which is basically your on-off switch, and that's got a hole in it. And in your bowl, there's one side that's got a little notch out. So when the hole is lined up with the notch, that's when the milk is going to be flowing down into your cream separator. If you flip this 90 degrees, you block off that hole so the milk isn't flowing into your cream separator. Once you have milk in there, it's too late for you to know which way is on and which way is off. So make a mental note to yourself. I'm going to have on with this facing that way, and then off, I just switch it 90 degrees counterclockwise. So we're going to leave it in the off position and hook our bowl down on top of all of this. I know it looks like a lot, and that's why I don't separate cream all that often. So the rest of our setup, we're going to need something for the skim milk to go into. And so I've got this pot here that, as you see, if I just put the pot here, it's going to fall off the edge. So we'll prop it up with a cutting board or two. I got a trivet and a cutting board. We'll prop that up. So now our skim milk is going to go off into this pot. And then I want to catch our cream in a jar. So I put a quart jar up under this side to catch our cream. Now bear with us a second, let's get the milk out. All right, we've got our milk a little over 100 degrees. We're going to pour it in. We're going to remember that we turn this 90 degrees clockwise to turn it on, but we're not going to turn it on until the cranking starts and gets up to speed. Now I usually like 1 revolution per second on the crank. It takes a while to get it there, and it's easier to have two people, one person working with the milk, one person doing the crank. So my cameraman, Chase, and my editor is gonna come do the cranking. So the cameras are on their own. Hope this all works out. Here we go. Start cranking. We got some milk starting now. I'm going to go ahead and turn it on. You have to adjust your speed upward or downward based on how much your cream's coming out. Here we come. Kind of watch how much of your cream is coming out. If you're going too fast, you'll get a thinner stream. If you're going too slow, you'll have a thinner stream. So try to maximize the amount of cream coming out. Kind of slow that down a little bit. When you finish with all of your milk, there's going to be a lot of cream stuck in that funnel still. So you want to run skim milk through it a few times until your cream stops dripping out. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Let's see if I can do this real quick. Chase, would you give me some cranks here?
Yep.
Thanks, hon. I'm going to run this pot through a few times and that'll clean out all that cream. You can see with the skim we're getting a whole lot less cream. And we're done. We're just letting it slow on down before we disassemble all this stuff. All right, we're done. We did about 5 gallons of milk and we got 3 quarts of cream. If you ask me how much cream can you expect, I'll tell you there are a whole lot of answers to that question. It's gonna depend on what kind of goats you have, what time of year it is, how much butterfat there are in the goats. We're in the middle of summer, and so our butterfat's pretty low with our goats, probably the lowest time of the year. And as we get closer to the fall, it'll start to tick up. So I can expect a whole lot more cream when we get to the fall months. But here are my 3 quarts of cream. I just want to show you how this cream gets caught inside the funnel. Take this stuff apart. This is kind of a pain to clean up. This is why when people ask me for goat cream, I just kind of groan. Well, we did a pretty good job cleaning it out. If you don't run the skim milk through, you see all this cream stuck between these discs? There's an awful lot more, so we did a good job running most of it clear. Then you need to wash up all of these discs and lay them out to dry before you put this back together. And all of our skim milk is going to go to the pigs, and I'm going to put some of this in the freezer to use for cooking throughout the year. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give us a like. Please take the time to share and subscribe. It really helps us out a lot.